and good afternoon to colleagues. So maybe just few words that also I wanted to share with you all. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. So this we are really happy that we can introduce you the minimum MHPSS minimum standards for GBV intervention. So I think they've already shared the final draft version of the minimum standards, and then he can also share the final version very soon after this session. We started to develop these minimum standards because we observed that we don't necessarily have the same understanding, even in terms of the use of the word, or what we mean by psychosocial support. When we say for example, some partners are providing counseling, and then counseling is provided by phone. I think we have different understandings, different practices among ourselves and also among our partners, which make it a bit difficult if we want to really ensure also the quality of the services that we provide for women and girls. So that this is the background that we started to work on developing the MHPSS minimum standards for GBV intervention. So very big thank you to Adib for undertaking this very important work. And I think we can say that this is a kind of the first of its kind for UNFPA to have specific minimum standards for MHPSS as part of GBV program. So I'm sure he he had a difficulty in developing it because we didn't have anything to refer to. But also he consulted with our partners, also consulted with our colleagues, and then we are now presenting this to you today. So I think we are very happy about that. This session is with our colleagues, and then I'm also happy that many of the colleagues from the field offices are joining. Because after this session, then we are planning to also introduce this to our partners, GBV partners, and then you are the ones who are also closely working with partners on a day-to-day basis, providing technical support. So I hope today's session will also help you to understand the definition of different types of MHPSS services, activities, different types of MHPSS service providers, and then what we think as minimum requirements for MHPSS intervention as part of GBV program. So thank you, and we hope you will enjoy today's session.
Thank you so much, Eri. Good afternoon, colleague. Today, I would like to discuss briefly about MHPSS minimum standard for GBV intervention. We have developing this MHPSS minimum standard since last year, a part of the MHPSS assessment that we have done for our implementing partners. The background, which has become the main foundation in developing MHPSS minimum standard for GBV intervention. As we might be aware that last year, around September, I conducted the PSS assessment for UNFPA partners implementing GBV intervention, and this assessment mainly focused on the PSS for GBV intervention. We conducted the assessment for 3 different organizations, such as META, IRC, and DRC, to better understand on how they implemented PSS programs, a part of GBV intervention. From the assessment, it found that each organization applying different standard in MSPSS programming. There are some reasons because first, maybe there is no standardized tools in terms of MSPSS assessment. Also, there are different understanding in some terms, such as assessment, because they are not only implementing MSPSS programs. That's why term of assessment using interchangeably with assessment a part of GBV case management. For example, in order to assess the needs of GBV survivor, to give them some information related to the available services and referral, something like this. That's why it is very important for us to make it clear that in terms of MSPSS, when we're talking about the assessment, this is mainly focusing on the MSPSS assessment related with the mental health state of the beneficiaries itself. Also related with capacity building, even though the staff got the initial briefing and basic capacity building when they has just starting join with the organization. However, more than 50% among the staff itself, they already got MSPSS training. This is why one of the reason why MSPSS program is like the quality of service of in terms of MSPSS service is not well addressed by the partners. And in addition to that, we found that the counseling services used interchangeably with the consultation. As I mentioned, even some of the staff mentioned they have a term of GBV counseling, which is actually it is referred to one of the BSS service, a part of the case management. They mentioned this as a GBV counseling. Yeah, that's why we need to make it clear, and this is why we're developing this MSPSS as a minimum standard in order to make it clear of some particular term. MSPSS is a cross-cutting issue, and in the area of UNFPA MSPSS programming, this is not mainstreaming MSPSS programs, but MSPSS which integrated into the existing programs that UNFPA have is related SRH and GBV. And for this MSPSS minimum standard, we focusing on how we will implement MSPSS specifically addressing for GBV program. So we would like to have the initial guideline on how we will implement MSPSS a part of the GBV programming. Also, we would like to establish a common understanding of what minimum a part of the MSPSS activities under the GBV programming. Part of the documents, we also stated that the minimum here mean of adequate quality, which further mean like reflecting good practices from our activities in the field and also not causing further harm. These documents developed based on the ISG guidelines in emergency 2007, adjusted to the humanitarian context here in Myanmar. Here, how MSPSS minimum standard is structured. So we divide it into 4 different parts by introduction, objective, MSPSS principle and definition, and MSPSS minimum standard itself. And a part of the introduction, we briefly mentioned about mental health situation in Myanmar, which rely on institutional-based MSPSS services instead of community-based MSPSS, and also what the most common consideration related with MSPSS in GBV intervention. And we briefly mentioned about the role of UNFPA Myanmar in addressing MSPSS problems. As we might be aware that we have strategic plan, and also at this moment UNFPA is the leading agency for the MSPSS coordination, MSPSS working group together with Johns Hopkins University, and also we have peer support network in Rakhine, Mongdo and Sitwe, as well as in Kachin. UNFPA also developing self-care approach, a part of the PSS curriculum that we developed for DSW. So this is part of the role of UNFPA Myanmar in addressing MSPSS problems, and we briefly mentioned a part of the introduction. And the objective I have already mentioned before, principle and definition based on the Interagency Standing Committee. For example, MSPSS principle, like we are considering human rights and equality, participation, do no harm, willing for the available resources, and MSPSS integration. The most important here, a part of the MSPSS principle and definition, we also make it clear about the MSPSS definition, who are the mental health professional, and when we mention about some of particular MSPSS services, for example, counseling, psychotherapy, what does it mean, and multi-layer support. yeah, we will discuss a bit more later. And a part of the MSPSS minimum standard itself, we divide it into three different categories: community focus MSPSS and protection, case focus MSPSS, and overall activity to support MSPSS programs. At the end of these documents, we will find table in order to help us have a better understanding on how we divide it into these different categories. When I mention about the minimum standard, we put it with the orange color. It means like this is the minimum requirement as we suggested about the minimum standard. And there is some additional with the blue color. It means like it will be helpful if the organization have this kind of particular component. And last one, we put it like with the gray color. Below are the MSPSS key important consideration, a part of the GBV intervention, that we know that there is strong association between conflict, forced migration, and also it potentially increasing higher rate of mental disorder. And we know that women are vulnerable in such a circumstance, while MSPSS has a strong contribution, a part of GBV case management. Because when we considering MSPSS as a part of the GBV case management, we could properly address and understand better what are the needs of the GBV survivor, what kind of support they might needed for the further referral, and also a part of the ongoing intervention that we providing to them, a part of the case management. PSS, a part of GBV, requires more comprehensive and integrated as much as possible, not only addressing for the GBV survivor itself, but also we should involve their surrounding, let's say family, community support, also engaging men a part of the GBV prevention and intervention. It is will be like have more contribution a part of the GBV programming. Last, about the considering the sensitivity of a GBV issue, it is very important to make sure that the caseworker have already trained at least basic PSS skill in order to provide better quality of services for the GBV survivor, at least, for example, basic active listening, how to build a report with them. This will be a very, very useful skill, not only delivering individual session for the beneficiaries, but also when they engaging into some of group support or psychoeducation. Basic active listening, it is very, very useful for them. MSS program in GBV intervention should follow and apply human rights framework and ensure that we do no harm, as well as following the clinical and ethical guideline for psychological intervention. So it's kind of, this is something that we will also emphasize a part of this minimum standard, while we are following the humanitarian guideline framework, but from the clinical perspective, they still follow, for example, the assessment. When we delivering this kind of assessment, a part of the GBV intervention, they should consider about the privacy, about the confidentiality of the issue, as well as understand better about the psychological condition of the GBV survivor. That's why we want to, put it together between the humanitarian context as well as the clinical guidelines from the psychological perspective. From the latest report from WHO 2006, that we have very limited mental health professional. Based on this finding, only for psychologists acknowledged in the country, and mostly they are working in the private sector, which is like they earn their education outside of the countries. And psychiatrists, based on the latest information last year, I guess from Ministry of Health, there are around 200 psychiatrists under the acknowledge of the Ministry of Health. And in order to support this MSPSS program for GBV intervention, UNFPA implementing the psychosocial support, a part of our implementing partners, in order to address the psychosocial needs of the vulnerable women and girls, specifically GBV survivors. I have mentioned briefly about this one, where are we, the role of UNFPA Myanmar in MSPSS. So we have MSPSS strategy is to be implemented for 4 years in accordance to UNFPA Myanmar country program 2018 to 2022, which focus on work across the UNFPA full range of SRA, GBV, and youth programming. Briefly, a part of the MSPSS strategy, we will focus on MSPSS awareness raising, focus on the PSS. That's why a part of the UNFPA MSPSS program, we are focusing how we implement PSS, a part of the existing UNFPA programs. And also, we will start to work on the advanced psychosocial intervention, specifically for the GBV caseworker to deliver MSPSS intervention, and we focusing on the policy and advocacy. Up to now, UNFPA has assumed the key leadership, the role of advocacy and coordination by co-chair of MSPSS working groups that we will meet on monthly basis, which now shifted already on a weekly basis due to COVID-19 in order to increase the coordination among humanitarian organization and any partners working in MSPSS arena to strengthen the coordination on how we implement MSPSS programmings. And sometimes some of the colleagues may be a bit confusing between the MSPSS working group and MSPSS peer support network. So basically the MSPSS working group, as I mentioned, this is mostly focusing on the coordination to better coordinate among any organization working on MSPSS arena in Myanmar. But we, a part of the UNFPA program, we have MSPSS peer support network, or commonly we call it like PSN, which is this is under the UNFPA programming and is already established since 2017. We have in Rakhine and Kachin. Rakhine we have two in Mongdo and Sitwe, and in Myitkyina. Basically, MSPSS Peer Support Network or PSN meet on monthly basis as well. But now in Myitkyina, some of the members requested to have like more regular meetings, so we have the weekly meeting for the PSN. And last, about the role of UNFPA in Myanmar, currently we are developing the PSS curriculum for Department of Social Welfare, DSW, which is using the step care approach in order to provide better quality of MSPSS services specifically for DSW case manager. Yeah, a part of the MSPSS minimum standard, we put there about MSPSS principle. We took from Interagency Standing Committee guidelines, which already mentioned several key principles. For example, human rights and equity. We want to ensure that everyone get equal access to get MSPSS services, as well as encouraging for better participation from the community. And we should follow the do no harm principle. There are some consideration, for example, encouraging the partners to actively and continuously joining with the coordination both in MSPSS and also GBV coordination, and as well designing the MSPSS programming for GBV intervention based on the needs of the community. And it should be the main foundation when we start to thinking and initiating about the community-based MSPSS. Also, we build the available resources based on the existing service availability in the community. I want to focus on the MSPSS integration, where MSPSS intervention should be integrated as much as possible, because if we are integrating into the existing services, it could also increasing more participation, as well as minimize the tendency of stigmatized for MSPSS related activity. For example, if we providing MSPSS specifically for GBV survivor in some particular center, it will be less participation because it could assume the community when someone coming to the center, okay, it means like this person is kind of GBV survivor or something like this. So that's why we try to focusing on the integration. Integration here, we could define as bringing together and uniting all aspects within the same place or programs. Place means like integrating to the existing center. For example, a part of the clinic or primary healthcare services, they're not only providing primary healthcare or SRH, but also a part of the services they have it. They also have the GBV helplines or also MSPSS related with a referral or services, something like this. So it's kind of be considered a part of the existing clinic or places. Or the second things like integration can be also defined as integrating a part of the particular program. For example, a part of women and girls center, there are also some vocational activity or educational recreational activity a part of the existing program, but as well this center could also be reached by the GBV survivor if they require more further support, not only for GBV case management, but also for some particular more deep individual session, for example, counseling related with this GBV survivor, or more group support for some particular cases, something like this. So this is something that we want to emphasize about the MSPSS integration. MSPSS definition is the key important part of these documents, because it will help us to identify and define some particular MSPSS activities, because from the PSS assessment finding, we found that some organization easily to claim that, okay, we have MSPSS activity, which is not exactly as MSPSS as it is. That's why we put it like the definition here, for example, mental health. So we make it clear what we mentioned about MH, what we mentioned about the PSS. Also, a part of the definition, we put also as definition of key terminology related with MSPSS services, actors providing MSPSS services. So what type of MSPSS services and who are them who providing the MSPSS services. The MSPSS services, here are some of the terminology that sometimes a bit confusing and using overlap one's another. That's why I put it like in order to make it clear about the definition. For example, when we mention about the assessment, if I'm talking with the same psychologist, when we are mentioning about the assessment, we must talking about the same related with the psychological assessment. But in this GBV intervention, since like most of the caseworker also dealing with the assessment, a part of GBV case management, that's why we make it clear here the difference between the assessment, a part of GBV case management, which is like it is general assessment in order to understand the needs of GBV survivor and what the available services and how to address or to make the referral. But also there's another part of psychological assessment in order to get better understanding about the psychological state. That's why we put it like the definition, what the difference between assessment and psychological assessment. Also about the case management versus counseling, because some of the partners also mentioning we have GBV counseling. The term is like a bit different. The one that they mentioned about GBV counseling, actually a part of the case management, which only focusing on the PSS services, a part of GBV case management. That's why we make it clear the term of the counseling. Also basic emotional support versus counseling, the professional one. Basically, if it is conducted by someone who only get a basic PSS or MSPSS, in order to provide basic emotional support, then we call it as basic emotional support. Not yet as a counseling, because it is not delivered by the professional counseling, someone who get adequate and proper certification to become professional counselor. That's why we couldn't state it as a counseling yet, but this is just a matter of basic emotional support. Also comparing with the PFA. If basic emotional support is like we can do it all the times if needed, but only the PFA or psychological first aid mostly during the critical period. For example, after the emergency situation or during the critical stage, when we provide the basic emotional support, then it's categorized as a psychological first aid. It's kind of like primary support to help them to stabilize that condition. And also like counseling, the professional counseling, which is like counseling, it's could be delivered by someone with a basic counseling training in order to provide the basic counseling services. But professional counseling is like someone should have a proper training in order to provide the professional counseling. There is a mention there about the psychiatric services comparing with the psychotherapy. If psychiatric services delivered by the psychiatric, which is like medical doctor who get specialized education in advanced degree psychiatric, but for psychotherapy, it could be delivered for someone who gets specialized training in some particular approach of psychotherapy, for example, EMDR or cognitive behavior therapy, something like this. And also we mentioned about psychoeducation comparing with the support group. Psychoeducation is like mostly we providing the education to the beneficiaries, which is focusing on delivering some educational materials, but it is impacted on their psychological well-being. But for the support group, it is the main objective is not delivering the information, but in order to provide the better environment for them to support one another. Self-help group and focus group discussion. For self-help group itself, for example, it could be delivered by themselves without facilitator, a part of the group. But for focus group discussion, it should be someone leading the group in order to facilitating the group. Focus group discussion, it could be used for assessment as well as for intervention, but for self-help group, it's like mostly we deliver this part of only for the intervention. This is the one that I mentioned, part of the minimum standard documents about the MSPSS definition. We put it here like what is mental health, what is psychosocial, everything, including the services. So with some of the key terminology, for example, what is the difference between assessment and psychological assessment? Basically, here for the service providers, we refer to the general definition. For example, the psychiatrist, what we mentioned about the psychiatrist, and who is the international standard for someone to become a psychiatrist, and then we put like a recommended standard if we want to apply in Myanmar, or also maybe psychologists. In another countries, probably psychologists require doctoral degrees in order to get licensed as psychologist or even clinical psychologist. But in Myanmar, what are the minimum required? And we also put it here just to compare the general definition, international standard, and what the recommendation for some particular profession, social worker, something like this. I put it the MSPSS pyramid from Interagency Standing Committee guidelines, and also with the first, second, third, and fourth layer, and in order to help us better understanding about how we can differentiate between case-focused MSPSS and community-focused MSPSS. Basically, for the community-focused MSPSS, it is considering for the first and second layer, and for case-focused MSPSS, it is considered for the third and fourth layer. And there is some description part of this MSPSS pyramid related with the problems, type of intervention, and service provider. For example, since like this MSPSS minimum standard, we develop for GBV intervention. So I will give the example related with the GBV incident. After some particular GBV incident, we have to ensure, right, that they have this basic services and security. If they need probably immediate medical support, then this is something that we should put as the primary consideration. And also maybe they need to get like safe house or shelter in order to concern about their protection. Then once the basic services and security are met already, maybe they still have this kind of distress feeling. For example, powerless, sadness, anger, or feeling shame. But with the existing personal resources that someone have, with the resilience they have, with the existing community and family support, they are able to come back to the normal routines. But still some groups that require more focused, non-specialized support, because they start to develop severe distress, for example, extreme fear, hyperarousal, and maybe there is some initial sign of like depression, problems related with their relationship with their partner, withdrawal from the society, something like this. So this is considered as the severe distress. Then they need to get like more a bit advanced intervention, for example, psychological first aid or basic mental health care by primary health worker. Who could provide this kind of services? There must be someone who already trained with a basic mental health skill. For example, trained mental health nurse, or maybe lay counselor supervised by the psychologist. After the third layer intervention, they maybe come back to the normal life, but there is still some small group that start to develop mental health disorder, for example, PTSD, or maybe a severe depression, which is they require more advanced mental health intervention by clinical psychologists or psychiatrists to apply some of the psychotherapy skill, MDR, CBT, something like this. So a part of the consideration, then we put it there with some of definition in order to help the reader understand better about how it's comprised for the MSPSS multi-layer support. Okay, finally, we come to the MSPSS minimum standard for GBV intervention, the key components. So I will briefly explain the difference between community-focused MSPSS and case-focused MSPSS. Basically, if community-focused MSPSS, the main beneficiary we will addressing for the general population, even though women and girls could be a part of the activities, but we will not addressing specifically for the women and girls or specifically for the GBV survivor. Type of activities, basically in order to increase the psychological well-being of the community as well as women and girls, it could be delivered by someone with no mental health backgrounds, or we call it like non-MSPSS professional. Maybe they will get like basic MSPSS skill, but it is still not a proper training yet. So they couldn't be considered as MSPSS professional. But for the case-focused MSPSS, it must be delivered by someone with mental health background or someone with a proper training. Proper training mean like the certification with like proper curriculum, like someone with, for example, psychiatrist or psychologist degree, for example, they already have the adequate skill in order to provide such particular or MSPSS, or probably social worker or nurse with a proper MSPSS training. So they could be considered a part of the mental health professional in order to provide basic MSPSS support. Why the case-focused MSPSS needed? Because some particular groups, specifically women and girls, during the distressing situation, maybe they couldn't cope well with the existing resources they have. Maybe they don't have adequate community or family support, or maybe they have like more vulnerability, so they start to develop mild, moderate, or even severe mental health problems. That's why they need case-focused MSPSS delivered by mental health professional, either in an individual setting, family, or group support. Type of the intervention, for example, cognitive behavior therapy, professional counseling by professional counselor, integrative adapt therapy, and other specialized techniques addressing for women and girls who require more specialized MSPSS intervention. In addition to that, there is a overall activity to support MSPS programs such as monitoring and evaluation, and also to emphasize the coordination, as we mentioned before, to minimize doing further harm, a part of the GBV and MSPSS intervention. So we strongly encourage them to coordinate among the humanitarian actors working in MSPSS and GBV. Here, more detail about the community-focused MSPSS and protection. There are 3 categories. The first one is like related with the information dissemination to the community. So if there is some particular activities addressing or providing this information dissemination related with the current situation, related with the service availability, both MSPSS or GBV, we could put it under the categories MH911. And if there is some message or information related with the positive coping mechanism, we could pull it like MH912. We could deliver this particular activities such as a mass campaign, group session, even through leaflet or poster or combination based on the community needs. So we could put it on under these categories. And also if there is some particular activity in order to strengthen the community and family support. But again, this is a part of the community activity. For example, a social support activity initiated by the community. If we identify some particular PSS activities in the field, but this is initiated by the community, we could categorize of community-focused MSPSS. But if the PSS activity, it is the activity that creating by us, by the humanitarian worker, which is not initiated by the community, it should not fall under this category. So that's why we build it like as a community focus base. And also there's some activity with strengthening family support, facilitation for community support to the vulnerable women and girls. Maybe there is a single mother or maybe someone with the past experience in intimate partner violence that now they have become like more fragile, more vulnerable, but they are no longer have the initial sign of a distressing situation, but they are a part of the community. So we could also put it under this category. And related with the safe space, also a part of the minimum standard, we have like minimum requirement. If women and girls safe space, how it looks like, private consultation room, how it looks like. We want to emphasize about the privacy, and also it should not attach with a common space when the privacy is not properly addressing, something like that. So we put some of the minimum requirement, as well as group psychosocial support for the GBV survivor by caseworker trained on basic PSS. So it could fall under this category, and then I will show you how it's look like. For case focused MSPSS, it is easier. Basically, any type of intervention delivered by mental health professional, either it's like professional counselor, psychologist, clinical psychologist, psychiatrist, which is divided into different categories of type of services. For example, basic counseling, family counseling, or group support, something like psychotherapy, for example, and also categorized into different, for example, non-specialized, providing by non-specialized mental health care, or specialized mental health care. So for the one that I mentioned, like psychiatrist or psychologist, it is fall under the specialized mental health care. But if it's like someone with specific mental health training, it will be fall under non-specialized mental health care. However, some of the services, for example, the caseworker, they are not trained yet in a basic counseling. So we couldn't categorize them as fall under mental health professional because they only providing basic emotional support. That's why this is will answer our previous confusion related with counseling services, because if we mention it is counseling, it should be addressing properly by someone with proper counseling training. But if it's only basic emotional support, we couldn't also categorize that as a PFA, then we could fall under the basic emotional support. That's why this is just the exception, because it is a bit challenging if in which part of categories of the activity, because this is the most common activities which possible conducted by the case workers in the field, because they are not get any proper counseling services, but they have to provide the basic emotional support. Somehow they will provide the PFA, and also they might get the past training in order to provide psychological first aid. Then if it's considered as PFA, we can fall under the PFA. But if they still not get any adequate training in the past, but only providing the basic emotional support, then we can put them as fall under this category, basic emotional support. Then we can go through the table in order to help us better understanding how it looks like. So with the codings that I put, for example, information dissemination, as I mentioned here, as the one that we mentioned about the orange color, which is, this is referring to the minimum standard. That's why there is a different colors, go orange, blue, and gray. The difference is like if we're referring to the minimum requirement, at least they should follow the orange one. For example, where we come to the safe space, for the minimum requirement, at least they should have women and girls safe space. So with some additional information that there is some space for women and girls, and if maybe they don't have a group activity room, it should be fine, but at least they should have private consultation room. This is the requirement. At minimum, safe conduct individual sessions such as counseling or assessment. We require privacy for the client. Quiet, separated from space, from the group session or the common space, something like this. So at least from the safe space, they should have this kind of private consultation. If they have group activity room, it is good, but if not, then it should be fine. And also there is some group psychosocial support, at least something like this. So this is the difference. For the person focus, there is some psychosocial work, so there must be at least psychological for it. It should be there. And basic emotional support. That's why for the one that we mentioned about the basic counseling, we put it as a blue, because I know that not all the case worker able to provide the basic counseling. As we mentioned before, like the basic counseling, it should be delivered by someone with a professional training in counseling. So that's why we put it like as the blue one. Is kind of some additional, because not every organization, maybe they have the counsel or part of their team. That's why if they don't have it, while they should provide basic emotional support, then the type of activity will be fall under this basic emotional support. And this is the general consideration about of the MSPSS. At least they should have in the beginning before we select the situation analysis, monitoring, evaluation, and also the important thing is like coordination, both for MSPSS and GBV. I think that's all. Thank you for listening my story about MSPSS minimum standard. If there is a question, queries from other colleagues, please feel free. Okay, then again, thank you so much for your participation, Penina, Francisca, and other colleagues. Maybe thank you so much. I will share the presentation and also the recording with other colleagues. And feel free if you have other queries to reach me at any time. Thank you. Have a good day. Stay well, and bye-bye. Thank you.